Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on my Subaru Legacy. Nothing too fancy, but we're going to take you step by step and show you all the little ins and outs of getting your oil changed properly and doing it for cheaper than a dealership or a quickie lube. So come along and you'll see the steps. I'm going to be using the Valvoline Full Synthetic Advanced 5W30. It's recommended to use full synthetic since the vehicle comes like that stock from the factory. I have the Purolator Boss oil filter and also the engine air filter. It's good to replace these when you're doing oil changes, especially if it's dirty. This is the 2017 Subaru Legacy, and this model comes with the 6-cylinder. Subaru dropped the 6-cylinder engine because it's not as popular, but in my opinion, I think it's the best motor that they've ever had because of the power it gives. All right, let's get after it. So I already ran the engine earlier, so everything's nice and warm. I'm going to jack the vehicle up now and we're going to get everything opened up. Alright, next is the engine oil cap and dipstick. We're going to check to make sure we still have good oil, just below the marker. So we're going to pull this out, open this up, and we're going to climb underneath and see what we need to get the drain plug out. So if you come under the engine here with me, you will find this open area here. This is going to allow you to reach the drain plug easily, and it's going to make for a quicker oil change. So let me find the size for that. Let me get a flashlight on it as well. I'm going to guess 17. All right. These oil drain plugs come with a crush washer, but I don't recommend changing them as often as some people do. Inspect it for damage and replace it if you need to. Now that it's all clean, put it back on the block. And I'm gonna go just by how hard it was to get it off. Just a little bit. All right, we're all done right here. Next is gonna be over here. All you have to do is pop these tabs out. Here's the oil filter. It's really easy to reach. And I don't think I can get it by hand, so let's see if I can move it at all. No, it's more than hand tight. So we're gonna have to grab a wrench for this. All right, well, I'm missing my good filter wrench, so I'm gonna see if this will work, which sucks, but whatever. Now this is gonna drip all over your hand, so just, or all over the camera, either one. There we go. Here it is. So just make sure you come in and wipe around where that oil filter sits. Get it nice and clean. So just make sure the old gasket from the last filter is not stuck on there. I'm just putting a little bit of oil on the gasket. And I'm putting this back on. I'm not priming it, it's gonna make too much of a mess. I think it'll be fine anyway. There isn't a ton of room in here, but you can do everything you need. One of those old Subarus had the oil filter surrounded by an exhaust. I must have been, and just give it a nice crank with your hand. Ah, there we go. All right, now that that's back on, that's tightened up, so is the oil plug. It's easier just to pull the center of these push pins apart. So when you go to put them back in, you're not fighting with it. It just, you slip in, they hold it, and then you come up with this, just push it in. It's done. Wipe up any excess. So now that we're at this step, we're going to clean up underneath the vehicle. All right, now that I'm pretty much cleaned up, I'm going to put the oil in the engine. And then we'll be done. It took like 3 minutes to pour 5 quarts. So the first 5 are in, we're going to put the other 2 in. This engine calls for 6.9 quarts with the oil filter. Almost there. There we go. All right, we're there. Wipe that up real good. Final step is to replace the dipstick. All right, we're gonna fire this thing up and let it run for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna check the oil dipstick to see if the oil is at a safe level. So now if we let the engine run for a little bit, I'm gonna shut it back off and we're gonna check the oil level. But I think I'm gonna take it off the jack stands to make sure it's sitting where it usually sits. All right, now that we're back on the ground, we're gonna check the oil level and the dipstick. I don't know if you can see it exactly, but there we go. You can see now the oil is at a safe level between the 2 tick marks. I'd say we did a good job here and made sure that everything was nice and tight and that it's not gonna leak. One last thing, I'm gonna change the engine air filter. It only takes a second, you'll see. So here's the new filter. All you do is pop these up, open, spread this apart a little bit. You can get this out. Just remember the way it came out so you know how to put it back in. These filters only cost about $20, but if you go to the dealership and have them replace it for you, they'll charge you almost $50. We'll just put the new one right in. There we go. All right, now that the engine oil is good, air filter's changed out, this thing's ready to go for another 6,000 miles. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.